Ooh, I'm live. Ooh, greetings, welcome, blessings to all of you. I am your humble host, Mr. David Null, and also known as Hawkeye Two Feathers. I greet you with love, honor, and respect that you deserve, and more, probably. Now, I, I'm sorry, just going through YouTube and things and looking at the headlines in the news and so forth. And it's like all of a sudden, now that the Harvard papers come out, and now after the midterms, folks are starting to pick up on what I picked up on the other day. And I just find this humorous, okay? I swear this ain't got nothing to do with me bringing it out, but it's just humorous. It's like all of a sudden people are going, what? Wait a minute. 2 days after the midterms are going, Harvard scientists said that aliens are real. Oh shit. Like, oh my God. There are people in areas of the news or whatever that are like this. It's an OMG moment. And I look at them and I go, well, yeah, duh. you know, who do you think built the pyramids? Duh. Who do you think moved all them rocks around? You think it was a bunch of slaves and some rope? Where'd they get the rope? I mean, you know, I've had my issues with things over the years, but it's like people want to say, well, I don't know about the alien thing. Well, look, I was a metallurgist. I was a machinist. I worked in in manufacturing and as an engineer and a machinist. And it's difficult to get the right mixture of certain chemicals and metals and things. And I want to know, and nobody's ever been able to answer this one. I want to know who taught caveman how to make brass. It's copper and something else. Who taught them how to do that? Who told when the thing that they need, one thing's on one side of the mountain, a big mountain, and what they need to make brass is on the other side of this huge mountain. And who told them to mix these two together? Wait, first you have to have a crucible to melt them in. All right, who told them how to make a clay pot that would withstand enough heat to be able to melt metals? Who told them how to do that? So for a long time, people go, oh, aliens don't exist. I have to say to myself, hang on. Let's forget all this other kind of stuff. Who taught whom how to make metal? They learned over centuries, trial and error, but somebody had to give them the thought. I'm going to take this piece of, if you've ever seen copper in its raw form, it's like, what the hell? And then you look at this and you say, well, okay, and then steel. Who told them how to melt steel? Who told them how to? You got this takes some knowledge, pre-knowledge. Two cavemen sitting around could dream up a wheel, okay, and make it out of things. I mean, logs roll downhill, it would be really easy. But who's going to say, here's a rock and here's a rock. I'm going to crumble these two things together, put them in a special container, melt them, and turn them into metal, and then I'm going to make me a copper hammer. Who taught them? I'm sorry. I've sat around a lot of campfires with a lot of rocks and stuff, and I never had the idea that maybe there's copper in there, or maybe I should crush these two rocks and use the powder to make something out. No, never occurred to me. And you think a couple of cavemen sitting around, and I use this term, I don't think caveman was as stupid as people try to make out to believe. But to the point, though, it's like, please answer the question, who taught them how to make metal? Go all the way back in history, go all the way through. Who taught them how to go look for certain rocks, pound them out, melt them up, and do these things to make metal? And then who taught them how to make, okay, I could see, okay, I found some copper. Okay, I could go with that. But to make bronze or to make a different or brass or to make something other, there's metallurgy involved. There's chemistry involved. There's alchemy involved. It's magic. Somebody had to teach them, though. So it's like, all right, so maybe you believe in the theory that a bunch of slaves with copper tools. Hang on. Who showed them how to make the copper tools? Who told them where to go get it? They were just wandering around and somebody said, oh, look, there's a rock. I think it's, wait, I'm going to make a tool out of this. Well, it's freaking soft. There are rocks that are harder than copper. So somebody said, well, this is too soft. We got to turn it into something. Well, maybe brass. But where did you get it? Who gave them the knowledge? Who told them to go look? It just doesn't happen. It wasn't a happenstance thing. It wasn't. It can't. I mean, I've been out in the woods. I've been looking all over the place. And I'm like, hang on, guys. I got a creative imagination. And even with the knowledge that I have about metallurgy and all these kinds of things, I still wouldn't know enough to be able to put the correct amount of this rock and that rock together to get brass or bronze or any other metal. Who gave them the initial? Now, once they got the idea, I could see where experimentation and, well, what about this rock? Well, what about that? Maybe we'll dump a little sulfur on it, But the thing is that in one place where these cavemen were living, they had to travel to the other side of the mountain to get what they needed. And then to get to make that metal even more, like to make steel or, brass or copper. Okay. They had to go find another element on another mountain because not all of it. Well, there's a spot of this over here and that's over there. And it's within, I can go get it myself. No, what you need to make what is required is on the other side of the Himalayas. Oh, well, who told you to go get it? Who told you to go look for it? Who told you that you needed it? So that, go ahead. Nobody has been able to answer that. Well, the copper, and they were sitting around a campfire, bananas. Sorry, I've tried it. It don't work that way. Somebody gave them a formula. Were they already here and they died out and then this thing? That's possible. But who got here first? I mean, somebody had to teach somebody somewhere along the way. And that's my point in this. So now that this Mau has traveled through the solar system, it's sped up and changed directions. Oh my God, it's giving off radio signals. Oh my God, they knew that a year ago. But they wait a year to come out and go, we kind of think it's alien. Those of us who saw it a year ago went, oh, that's alien. Well, that's not natural. Oh, there's too much weird stuff going on there. Now everybody else is catching up to us conspiracy nuts. Like, oh my God, Dave, oh my God, they said it was alien. Yeah. So, duh, here we go. I mean, in this last week, I think I might have discussed it in an earlier video, but I'll bring it up now. I went to look at an article where Jupiter picked up another moon. What? It picked up a moon? I mean, okay, so this rock thingy got trapped in, now it's orbiting Jupiter. A new one. Well, okay, when I went to school and over the years, I don't know, there was like 8 or 10 moons of Jupiter. Oh, there's 100 of them now. How? And some of them are going this way. Some of them are going counterclockwise. Some of them are going this way. There's 3 different bands of moons around Jupiter now. I didn't know that. Wait, I thought I was up to date with stuff. When did this happen? Wait, hang on. Now, then in the same article, and it's on Wikipedia, just type in Jupiter's moons, and you'll see, because that's what I did, and I almost crapped myself, I'm like, what? Myself? I mean, I knew they had picked up a few extras, but then they said, Jupiter picked up a new moon. What's strange about this, it's this odd orbit, it's not going around this way. It's like going up around this way. Okay, fine. But then in a few sentences later, they go, and Jupiter, by the way, has just lost 6 moons. What? 6 moons just arbitrarily decided to leave orbit. Okay, Jupiter, had enough with you. I'm out of here. I'm going to go travel through. Hang on. If you get caught in an orbit, don't you stay in orbit? Unless something moves you out of orbit. Now, I've talked about this, but I don't know, it's been about 8 or 10 years ago. There were a lot of conspiracy channels that were talking about, well, the sure enough galactic ones who are in tune, and that we were told, shown, explained that there were going to be motherships coming into the solar system because of these energy waves that are going through right now that I've had discussions on, and that they were going to park these big ships out around Jupiter and Saturn. Well, so how come we have all these extra moons? Did we just arbitrarily pick them up going through the universe? It's like, I don't know. And it's like, all right, I can see, well, all right, we're in a dense section of the universe and the whole solar system there, and you picked up a few extra rocks and moons or whatever, but how does six of them just arbitrarily leave orbit of Jupiter? That'd be like Mars deciding to take a trip on its own and say, well, okay, I've had enough of orbiting around the sun. I'm out of here, guys. So it's like, all right. So I can't quit laughing about this stuff because it's like some of this stuff is like the only way to explain. Lucy, we got some explaining to do. The only way to be able to explain some of these things is to be able to open up our awareness and go, if six moons left Jupiter, they must not have been moons. Maybe they really were some kind of mothership. Oh my God, aliens are real. Oh my God, we were all probed. Were you lubed? Just now they want to this was in a similar article. Now they want to probe Uranus. They want to send a probe to Uranus. And it's like, I've already been probed. Thank you very much. I'll pass. But to the point, though, to the rest of us, they're making up stories left and right, and it's like, well, the truth is out there. They showed so much in the old X-File stuff. There's so much science that was real in the X-Files that it's like a lot of us went, oh, I can't believe they showed that. And now that it's, the science is proving what they discussed as conspiracy theory back in the day. But to the point, though, of course there are aliens. They're on high, petroglyphs or paintings in caves. I've taken pictures of some of this stuff. They're not normal, odd shaped heads with weird eyes, petroglyphs in Ohio. I've got pictures on my Facebook page of these things. I think I might have did a YouTube video on it. But to the point is, of course they're aliens. Because there's no way to explain some of this stuff. It had to have been somebody else. Now let's just all admit, of course, the Ancient Alien series and all. Okay, right. Now I don't necessarily watch it all, but I've seen enough of it. Yeah, I get it. I'm 66 years old. I questioned the story about the pyramids back in grade school in the 60s. I said, this is hooey. You don't get a bunch of slaves pulling something up a slope. I saw that movie that they did, Metro Goldwyn Mayer and all this, went to the story of the greatest thing and all these slaves pulling big rocks up. I still didn't buy it. I said, that's nuts. No. I'm sorry, but even as a little kid, I thought that they were lying to me. And now it seems to be, well, I was kind of right about it, along with a lot of others. But I mean, from a point of view, there's something missing with what they're trying to explain to us. Something's missing. Where'd you get the copper from, people? Well, we don't know. And if they had copper, I bet you they had other things too. I mean, they did all these gold things. How did they know the gold? How did they know to take gold? And how did they know how to make molds? It's not easy making molds. And some of the molds that they've made out of gold are exquisitely detailed, which means they had to have some fine detailed ways of making those molds. Mold making is not easy. I was a mold maker. I have been there. It's not an easy task. And now you're going to make an imprint of something and then pour the metal into it. Well, it can't melt. And I've been to, Ramses II, several years ago. I went down to Jacksonville. It was on tour. And oh my God, it's the detail of these things. And people want to go, well, they didn't know nothing. Oh, come on. Be able to at least admit somebody had to teach them how to do this. Was it aliens? Was it somebody was around? Somebody had to know this kind of stuff. You just don't dream it up on your own, period. Okay. So now, are they grays or whatever? I'm not even going to go there. Let's just stick to, yes, there are aliens. Yes, there are other beings in our universe. Yes, we're being visited. Yes, all these things are true. Oh my God, Harvard scientists said it was alien. Catch up. It's like, yes, sir, please. I find the entire thing just, not ridiculously humorous, but quite frankly, I'm like, man, having a little difficulty, staying calm over this. Is like, well, duh. Yeah, of course. Okay, look at all the evidence, please. But that's part of this new awareness that's coming on right now. And while I'm here, I've gotten some more cosmic downloads, if you will. And yep, we're on the precipice of another wave that's coming in. And the messages are there are a lot more people going to wake up. A lot more people are already being, and I've mentioned this before, but I'll mention it here now, that some folks who have YouTube channels and so forth over the years are like, well, I don't really buy this. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Now they're going, you know what? I can't qualify or quantify this, but something has happened. Something is changing. I just did a video on my Facebook page and chatted with a friend of mine in Romania, and she's like, yes, things are changing over here. People are like, there's something going on, but we can't quite figure out what it is. So it's like you can poo-poo it all you want to, but there are people around the world who are having an awareness awakening type of something's going on. And not necessarily bad, just that what's going on here? I feel different. The trees look greener, or I didn't notice some, or that, or some. It's awareness. It's the overall awareness. And that's one of the things that I've been, quote, preaching about, is we have to learn these things as we're going through this transition. And people are like, they're admitting it. I can't tell you how I feel, but I feel different. You can't put it like on a 1 to 10. I'm not sure. But I can tell you that I feel different. It's not a bad different, but it's a different. I can't figure it out. That's why I'm here. That's why we have these discussions. Let's take a look at this, and maybe it's a this, maybe it's a that. Okay? So we are feeling it, whether folks want to raise their hand and go, I'm going to admit, yeah, there's something going on. I kind of feel it myself. Don't know what, but it's going to be hard for other people out. That's bullshit. No, it ain't that. Nah, no. I'm sorry. They're going to deny it until it just literally drowns them with it and says, you're going to wake up with this stuff one way or the other, But they're going to be the ones that are going to be so wide-eyed, deer in the headlight kind of thing of, oh my God, they're going to hit with this wave of awareness. And when you lightly go through it, as I discussed, you're going into the kiddie pool before you can go into the deep end of the swimming pool. These folks haven't even been on the slip and slide. Okay. They've not even played under the hose. So when they get this information, the awareness is going to literally knock them down, maybe physically, but in so many words. And they're just going to, I've had people literally tell me in chat rooms and things that basically they're just kind of like looking around going, something's happening. Don't know what it is. Well, is this alien influence? Well, now for those of us who's been tuned in and listening to the galactic thingy and just being in tune to what's going on, there are these downloads and things that many folks talk about. And more folks are starting to open up and discuss it, even in chat rooms, where before they're like, I'm just going to keep this to myself. It's a little weird. Even though I'm on a conspiracy channel, this is kind of out there for me. But, now folks are going, you know what? I am going to say something. I'm going to speak up. I might not make a YouTube video, but I'm going to say, you know what? Yes, I feel a difference. Yes, it does feel positive. Yes, I can explain it. Yes, these things are different in my own reality, in my place where I live, in whatever part of the world it is. This is wonderful. Now, E.T. warned us. Here it's coming. It's coming in. Be aware. And one of the first things we're going to be aware of is our awareness is going to increase. Hello. Harvard scientists say aliens are real. And disclosure, can we say stupid science? Never a straight answer, NASA, Can we say that? Because what? Now I'm going to say it again. I'm sorry, I did it in another video, but we're here now, and they're still trying to tell us that comets are made up of ice and dust and rock particles floating around in space. They still haven't told me how these things came together. Who pushed them together and made a giant snowball to throw at us as a comet or an asteroid? Please explain that. But they're made out of dust and ice and rock. How did they form? We don't know. It's out in the Kuiper Belt somewhere. Are you kidding? Wait, hang on. It's probably let's go with exploded planet, or maybe remnants of a star that blew. I can believe that. But you're going to tell me that arbitrary dust and ice and rocks congealed by themselves way out in space, out in the Kuiper Belt, where it's like really nobody knows, but we're going to tell you these lies, But aliens are real, and that was a true, So they're like spewing lies faster than they can keep up. I was like, what? 9 moons? 6 moons left Jupiter. It might have been 9, but I'm going to stick with 6. If 1 moon left Jupiter, I would be going under its own power. Wow, they just left. What? 6 moons, big enough for you to take pictures of, are now no longer circling around Jupiter. Are those alien spacecraft? Are you going to come out next and say, maybe those moons were alien spaceships? Well, we've all been probed. Woo! Okay, guys. I think you get where I'm going with this. But it's starting to be ridiculous. Snowballs. Okay. Creator took his hands out there in the giants of space. Here's a little bit of ice. Here's some dust. And here's a couple of rocks. And these giant hands out into outer space made this snowball and throwed it towards our solar system. That's what they're trying to get us to believe. Okay. Regardless of the aliens, it's like, oh, come on. Just tell me it's a blowed up planet. That makes sense. Dust and ice forming on itself. Oh, come on. Giant snow. Oh, get off of it. I've said this before, but it's still, it's bringing into the mix, but it's all these other people now who are starting to freak out. What? Aliens? Well, yeah. Haven't you watched an episode of Ancient Aliens? Haven't you watched any of this? Have you not seen an ET movie or something? Have you not been paying attention? And now all of a sudden people are literally crapping their pants over this. And I just got to say, wow, this is going to be really interesting as things unfold even more, as people's awarenesses become more aware. It's going to be very interesting. So, but with all of that said, we need to be kind to people. I'm making jokes about this, but seriously, hasn't it gotten a little ridiculous with what they're trying to shove down our collective throats? Wait, where's the science in this? And to the other point about this also, it's like, so the folks who are going to be aware, wait a minute, they just admitted aliens are real. But these people are going to be shocked. And then beware, and maybe it'll take 2 or 3 weeks or something. Somebody's going to come back in and go, yeah, aliens really are real. What? That's going to be the second shock wave that hits them. First off, the Harvard scientist, what? And then they're going to be this, they're not going to believe no matter what until they see one of them bitches in the sky for themselves, like I have and other people have. It's like, there you go. Kind of hard to dismiss that big old ship up there. Whoops, there you go. Oh, it's not ours, at least Earthlings, But but we need to be kind to those people, folks, that have not had that awareness, that are unable to expand their own awareness to at least consider it that it's possible. They're just people that know it's not possible, and they're convinced it's not possible. That is their paradigm. It's not possible. No way, can't convince me. And those are going to be the ones that are going to be, they're the ones that ain't allowed in the kiddie pool. They're going to have to go play under the hose a little while and learn what water is, play on the slip and slide before you get into the pool, folks, And I say that with jest, but also a reality, because certain people are, it's going to be so hard for them to get it and to admit it to what? Hmm. So we got to pray for these folks. We got to help them along. Now, I make jokes and I giggle, but I don't point any fingers at anybody and go, that particular person is an idiot or they're stupid. I don't go there. I will talk about the subject, but I ain't picking on nobody because that ain't my job. But I will pick on the subject. I will pick on the science and go, does this sound right to you at all? I mean, come on. Ice, snow, ice, dust, rocks, snowball, asteroid. Get out of here. Tell me about Tiamat or some planet that blew up. That I will understand. That makes sense. But snowballs made out of a cosmic dust. Sorry, can't go there. Let me say hi to everybody in the chat. As a rule, I can't look at the chat because it distracts me from being crazy. I'm in a really good mood today, I guess. There's there's just something that's changing, and I look around and I go, and some of the people who are so crazy, it's like uh, James Edmond retacted a bunch of stuff. Okie dokie. Hey, Quartz, how are you? Wait, I Googled about those 6 moons of the spirit. You don't Google it. You have to go into Wikipedia. Type in Jupiter's moons Wikipedia. And unless they deleted it, it was there yesterday or the day before. I just read the thing. Okay. So call me Pappy. It was on Wikipedia. Okay. Just saying. I don't know if it's still there now. Catch up with fries. Absolutely. Wait, what's this? We're going to be live in a little while, then going to none of your business. You do it a live thing. Okay. All right. Anyway, something. Anyway, ever been abducted? Actually, I think I have been abducted, but I can't really put my finger on it. There are just certain things that happened to me that when I have discussed in a previous video about when I went down on the river one time, I got stuck for 3 days. I should have died. I went into this before, but to the point though, there's no way I should have survived what happened to me. And I keep getting the visions of a spirit on each shoulder and walking through the swamp and the area down there in the woods and them teaching me things during those 3 days I was on the river. And so it's like, yeah, I've had several near-death experiences, not counting being put under the knife in an operating room where they drop your blood pressure and everything so low that you're just above being dead, and it puts you in this weird kind of thing. I've been there 7 times, and being operated on with my neck, my leg, and other things. So it's like, it's really weird out there when they put you under before they go cutting on you or whatever they're doing. It's a strange experience. And especially if you've been in the operating room for 4 or 5 or 6 hours, there is this extension of the astral thing, and things are really confused because you're right on the edge of death. They keep you there just so they can operate and everything, blah, blah, blah. Oh, he's losing his blood pressure. Okay. But to the point though, there are times when there are things that I have seen in my dreams that there's no science fiction movie that I could have seen that would explain what was in my dream. I've got a vivid imagination, but as much as I've tried to conjure up these weird things on my own, I can't. I have to have a basis to use my imagination with. Maybe it's an old sci-fi movie, but I use the basis of, well, this, that, let's see if I can expand upon this. And what I'm getting is that there are things that, cockpits of some kind of craft, being inside some type of mothership, speaking with other types of beings, not necessarily grays or any of that, but just other beings, light beings, okay? Spirits, okay. But to the point though, it's like, but in my real 3D world, I cannot find any kind of relationship to why I even would have had a dream like that in the detail that I've had it and with the experience that and the emotion that went with it. So I kind of wonder if I haven't been taken up, at least in spirit form. So with that said, though, I think a lot of us are taking astral trips. We were told, I don't know, about a year ago that this was going to pick up, that people who were in tune to these things and had a natural propensity to these things were going to be taken to the mothership, and we were all going to be going to class to learn how to go through this transition. Now, I've been picking up information. There's certain particular subjects and stuff that I've had on my YouTube here and also on Facebook. I'm not promoting them. I'm just saying the discussions are there, and that I get these downloads that we need to have a discussion about this. We need to look at it in this particular way. Here's some things that maybe some other people haven't looked at. That's what my job as a watchman or a light worker or whatever you want to call it. That's what I'm here for. And where did I get some of this information? Well, I've been studying religions and things and, Buddha and all that cosmic stuff for a long time. I'm 66 years old, and my first experience was at the age 11. So 55 years I've been at this, okay? But to the point, though, recently these things are being more real than any kind of dream ever. Just, I got a good imagination, but this stuff is stretching my imagination. So there are a lot of people who have also felt that I have discussed with chat rooms and other things, and that have basically said, you know what? I think I saw you on one of those motherships. There's something about your presence, or, what did you learn about this the other day? Yeah, as a matter of fact, I did. Well, I had the same download. Really? Interesting. And we're in different parts of the world. We just have a chat every once in a while. So there are things going on with a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. So yes, oh my God, aliens are real. Let's accept it. Are there some really nasty bad guys? Yeah. Let's focus on the good guys who are trying to help us. Let's stay in the light. Let's stay with that positive, and we will attract that same. So let me read what else somebody has written over here. None your business. Hey, Nunya, you're going to check out my vids? Thank you very much. I've been asked by the creator and the spirits to do a sections about the transition. So everything is this, it's transition basics. So please, if you've got any kind of what's going on, then go out and check it out. There may be something that will enlighten you, stimulate a thought. That's the purpose of it. It's not for you to agree with me 100%. That's not it. If you do, well, that's even better. But it's not because of me. It's the information that's there for us to discern for ourselves. That's what's important. Don't think you've been inducted? Been to other dimensions, though. I get that feeling. Arcturus Raw did a video about flat Earth not being real. He explains it very well, why it's not real. How are you doing? I'm doing fine, Quartz. And the thing is that now I think I saw it, but to the point, though, there are so many simple things, in my opinion. Number one, flat earthers are like, very simply, you want to convince me that I'm living in a snow globe. Now, I just take that, just put that thought in your brain. You want me to believe that we're living in a snow globe. Well, we got a dome and there's a thing and there's a... You want me to believe we're living in a snow globe. Well, it's this and that and it's flat. Let me go back. You want me to believe we're living in a snow globe? I'm sorry, can't do it. I mean, what? Well, this and that, and there's the cam and the dome. You want me to believe I just keep going back to the same thing. You want me to believe, well, it's not really a snow. Then what is it? It snows inside the globe, doesn't it? Well, yeah. Okay, then you want me to believe we live in a snow globe. Just saying, and I'm sorry, that paradigm does not fit me. Now, but the thing is, yes, please, love and connection is key. Absolutely. And here's one of the things, Nunya. Thank you for subscribing and all. I appreciate every single one of you. I do. And you humble me with your comments and your. It doesn't. I'm sorry, it doesn't fit you either, Quartz. Yeah, see, I mean, snow globe. Well, and they go into all this science. I mean, I just go back to the same thing. Okay, let's put this in simple terms. Snow globe. We live in the snow globe. Well, what the science says, snow globe. Blah, 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 snow globe. Yeah, but it's a snow globe. Maybe with it. Now, that is true, Nunya. And that's one of the things that I wish to explain. There are some people who are on what about a different timeline? What if there is a timeline that does have a snow globe Earth? I mean, I've been up in airplanes many times, and I'm like, I'm not a slew, but I'm sorry, but I can see the curvature of the Earth, and I don't see no dome overhead or whatever, So it's like, I'm sorry, but I have observed this on my own from the window of jet airplanes flying at 35,000 feet. I see the curvature. And you're trying to tell me that it's an optical illusion. I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm not really an engineer. I never. Okay, snow globe. I just, snow globe. You want me to believe it's okay? I know I'm being ridiculous, but to the point though, I actually think that it may be a different dimension. Their reality was on a different timeline, and timelines have merged. There was a lot of confusion that's trying to tie itself back in right now. And I've talked in previous videos about timelines, and a lot of other people will agree. Timelines, dimensions, they're slightly different, but not. Well, they are different. Yeah, a dimension is not a timeline. Okay, right, exactly. But to the point, though, it could very well be real in their reality. So I still respect them. I'm like, I'm not going to beat you up about it. They call me an idiot all the time. Well, you don't trust the science. No, I don't trust the snow globe idea. That's all. I stop right there. I'm not in the snow globe, guys. You can't convince me. But if you wish to believe that, okie dokie. But let's not fight about this. That's what you believe. You can believe it. And I'm going to respect you for your beliefs. But at the same time, you turn around and want to cut me down. Well, you're stupid. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking. It's flat, don't you? I didn't do that to you. I just said snow globe. Snow globe. That's my remark. And so, how can I offend you if I just say snow globe? You want me to believe in a snow globe? But other people, well, what about this? And it doesn't matter. I respect your opinion. Go ahead. You believe it. It doesn't fit my paradigm, but I'm going to respect you as a human being because we can differ. But let's keep the hate out of this. That's my argument. These people are just wanting to hate all over. Well, if you don't believe in me, well, if you don't believe in mine, I think you're nuts, but I'd leave it at snow globe. It's so much easier than that. But the thing is that those flat earth people might get a very strange awakening. And I say this because in some of whatever dream state or different dimension or whatever, I have seen the earth from space. I can't explain it. I've seen it. I've been there. It's an internal thing. No, I ain't got no proof, no pictures, but there's something internally with me that says, I've seen this from out yonder. There's no other way I can explain the feeling, the sensation, the visual. There's too much there. I mean, like I said, I've got a really good imagination, but nothing could prepare me for those types of experiences that I have had that make me go, oh, shit. I mean, turn me into a believer. I've been a little skeptical. Then it was like E.T. said, I know you have Dave Hawkeye. Pay attention here. We understand that there's a little bit of you don't quite believe. Come on, we're going to take you on a journey. Let's take you on a little trip. Let's show you what it looks like from out yonder. Whoa, shit. Whoa, okay, I got it. It's hard to explain. But there are other people that I've had in chat rooms and so forth, and they've said, kind of sort of the same thing. Like, man, I was somewhere and I could see the whole earth and I could see the moon and it was real. It was real. I could taste, it wasn't a dream. And I go, yeah, I know. I got you. I believe you. because I can't explain it either, but damn it, I was there. Whatever that reality was, maybe it was a different timeline. I mean, there are a lot of things to explain it, but the fact that I felt it, tasted it, sensed it, saw it, can't take that away. So I'll know. It's just a topic for discussion right now, but that's something that I went through internally with my creator and my spirits and my ET downloads or angel downloads. And they said, okay, you want a little proof? Ding, here you go. I've talked about the times where, for example, I'd get a little tap on the shoulder and they go outside and look it up. Okay. And then I'd see some kind of weird object going across the sky going, what? I've talked about before when I seen it was an orange something going across the sky and a white something appeared, shot a white laser, disappeared, and blew up the other one. Now, that's been about 3 years ago. So our space wars going on, I have witnessed it personally. And that wasn't there. I've seen some other things too. But, I've talked about this before. And I mean, that I know it's real because they have literally said, go out in the yard and look up. And son of a bitch, there's something going on up there. I've done other videos about, and I'm sorry, I don't have pictures of these things. They happen so quickly, but I've experienced them. I've seen them. I know I'm crazy, but wait, hang on, So, but now other people are seeing them in pictures and all these. So the reality is already out there. But the thing is, for those of us who have hesitated a little bit, just go ahead, drop the hesitation. Now, there's so much out there. I got to mention this. But ET is a bad sumbitch, Some of them are, but so are some humans. Does that make all human society bad? No. Is society crazy? Yeah, but not every. I'm a part of society. You and me are part of society. Are you and me bad? Well, we're part of society. Well, does that mean we as a whole, that the society is horrible? Well, some of it is, but most of us are going, this sucks. How can we change this paradigm? But are we aware of it? Well, yeah. Are we a part of it? Well, yeah. But, do we seem to have control of society? Not, well, kind of, sort of, we're learning, having conversations. When we stop fighting with each other, even about flat earth or round, doesn't matter. When we stop fighting and just have conversation, discord, debate. Okay. All right, fine. There's your proof. There's okay, we're done. Make up your own decision. Let's leave it at that. But when we stop hollering, screaming, and pointing, fingers and blaming each other, stop it. When that happens, there's going to be another wave of awareness that's just going to hit people. What? Just by not fighting anymore. Just by stop hating, Well, you don't have to agree with me. Just stop hating me. Come on, please. I don't hate you anymore. I agree with your assessment, but that's okay. But I respect you and I honor you and I understand that where in your mind that would be the case, I'm good with it. But can you be good with what my decision is? Well, no, because the earth is flat and we live in a dome. Come on, guys, cut it out. Let's be calm about this. So I see this as being like one of the next steps in our transition learning is we got to stop the hate. Let's disagree. We should have discourse. I'm agreeing with that. But should we be trying to kill each other and fighting and all these nasty words? Nah. That's what's keeping us back. That's what's keeping these people, maybe because they're so vehement about what they've learned, they have closed off any idea that maybe the earth is really round. They have convinced themselves to not think out of their box. They created their own flat earth box and they ain't getting out of it, no matter what. And the rest of us are stupid idiots. Anytime I try to bring something up to a flat earther, they want to start criticizing me and blowing me out. And I'm like, sorry, guys, can we not ask a question here without you getting belligerent? I'm not being belligerent, just asking you a question. You say we live in a snow globe. Well, no, not really. Right. You're that. But your explanation of it says snow globe. I'm sorry, okay. But that offends them because, oh my God, You know, they got all these, I know I'm going off on this too much, but they show all these things and the moon does this thing and it's inside and it's red, it's being held up over a and I'm like, oh my God. I'm sorry. I I'm an engineer. I've worked on really, really severe technical problems in manufacturing, and I can't mechanically make that shit work in my head. I mean, I tried. Well, let's see how. And but it's suspended over here, and then the light does this, and it's a fake light, and it's doing this, and I'm like, do you realize that makes less sense than a round Earth? Just saying, snow globe. Okay, I'll move on. But the purpose of this, though, is guys, okay, let's have the discussion. All right, but at the end of it, I'm still going to go, well, you can't convince me because this is how I feel about it. But if the other side says the same thing, fine. We agree to disagree. Let's part shaking hands and let's go on to the next subject. Because obviously, whether it's round or flat doesn't mean a crap right now, does it? All this energy is being put forth to the flat earthers who have something to prove. What about election fraud? Ain't that something to prove? What about homelessness in the world? Isn't that something to prove? They're going to waste time, energy, money, and conferences on trying to prove their point about flat earth. Now, to me, that's like, of all the causes on this planet, you all are going to take money, do money, have conferences. It's your right, but you're choosing something. What do you get at the end of it? Nothing, except that you're trying to prove your point. What? Is it that important that you have conferences all over the United States to convince people that we live in a snow globe? I mean, go use that money and go to a conference on how to help people, how to do something, how to improve our life, how to improve our lives versus, we're going to have a flat earth conference and all these people are going to do these things. Oh, okay, fine. That's your right. But are you wasting your time? Are you wasting the energy and the money and all that goes through that when you could pick a separate topic that would actually improve the quality of society and human beings as a whole? Instead, they would rather argue with us and make their point, Earth is flat, snow globe, you're idiots. And they waste money and time and effort to prove something that, what does it mean at the end of this? Okay, talk about UFOs. It at least has a point to it. But flat Earth versus round, what's the point? I'm just asking. Be the grown-up in the room and ask the hard question. What's the point of the debate? To prove that you're right? That's what it takes? You haven't been able to prove anything else in your life, so you're going to go with the flat Earth and you're going to try to convince the world that you and your cohorts are correct and the rest of us are stupid. And that's worth your time and effort. And I say, what? Shouldn't it just be a matter of opinion? But you want to have conferences and this and that and radio programs and all this, and it's all devoted to flat Earth and how stupid the rest of us are. And I say that's wasted energy. Have a conference, have it on ESP, have it on new technologies, have it on other things. Throw in a little bit of flat Earth. Fine. But what are you going to achieve at the end of it? To prove that the Earth is flat. What does that do me? What does that do to society? What have you accomplished as we're proving the Earth is flat? And you're trying to prove to me we live in a snow globe. I go back to the same thing. Well, not really. It's okay. But see, couldn't their energy be spent on something more constructive? Sure, you can still believe in the flat Earth, but all of your energy and all of these things to prove something that's like a lot of us are going, okay, all right, okay. We respect you, do your thing, but could you be doing something more productive? And that's my comment about this. Go ahead, believe it. Go ahead, have your conferences. But are you wasting time and energy on something that you really could be working on that would really help people and that would really bring awareness to the world? And if flat earth is your thought that that's how you're going to fix things, I will continue to pray that you will receive more awareness with your science, with the universe, and with the cosmos. I'm not going to beat you up about it, but I am going to still go snow globe. You know, I'm sorry. Maybe I went off the rail too much, but somebody needs to be the grown up in the room. I think you're all having conferences, but all you're talking about is flat Earth. Why don't you discuss other things? Come on, make it other. Have one of the topics be flat Earth. Okay, I would go and listen. But if that's you're going to have a 3-day conference and the only subject is flat Earth, ain't going. Ain't even going to think about it because I think that is stupid. Okay. Now, if you have a 3-day thing and one of the topics is flat Earth, maybe you've got a round earther in there. Do you invite round earthers into your flat Earth conferences? By the way, do you bring in folks that talk about ETs? Do you have conversations about ESP and extrasensory perception? Do you have people that come in and talk about quantum and what do you have people to come in and talk about dimensions and timelines? And no, we just talk about flat Earth. Okay. Limited subject with limited data but you're going to devote. Okay, but why not bring in all these other things? You have the opportunity. You have the audience. You have so many other things. But no, just flat Earth, snow globe. And that's where I think it's wrong. Okay, it's a subject. Okay. All right, my personal opinion. And I'm getting a butt cramp. Let me read what you got up here. Quantum. I love you guys. I do. Nunya, I think you're new to the channel, and thank you all very much. I really do mean it. Every one of you that subscribes to my channel, I mean blessings to you 100-fold. Okay, and not just because you subscribed, it's because we can have an open discussion. Nunya says, all this is ridiculous. I'm surprised every day with what I experience. I am now open to whatever at this point. No awe. All is awesome. Absolutely. And you bring up a very good point, Nunya. And that's sort of the point I'm trying to make. This new awareness that's coming, that is here, we're going to be aware of more. Even me, and I thought I was aware of a lot of stuff. Even there, my awareness is even increasing out beyond some certain things. And I'm looking at stuff going, I thought of that before, but there's another dimensional point of view to this I had really not explored before. Let's have a chat, So yeah, I know what you mean. I believe that I've been on another Earth in a different timeline and can't prove it, but it's happened. Exactly, Quartz. I got friends in Florida, friends in Romania, friends in Canada, friends all over the place who we have conversations back and forth in the chats and things. And a lot of us are having very similar experiences. It's so real. It had to have been real. It couldn't have been just some kind. I've had really cool dreams, but this stuff ain't dreaming. It just isn't. Melanie, hi, how are you? Where'd you go there? All are distractions from what is important. Absolutely. And that's kind of my point. Some aren't. You can't tell the difference. That's how I made it this far in 6 weeks. You will walk away from a flat earther. If they're polite and if they're respectful to me, I'll be respectful to them. But if they want to argue with me, bye-bye. Blessings to you, Quartz. Quartz, hola. Yes, Miss Melanie. Yes. Okay, guys. I just wanted to get on here because the more I've been scanning through some of these scientific papers and things and watching people's reactions, you don't have to read the articles. Just scan some of the headlines and some of what reactions of people are talking about. And I got to say, it's humorous to me, but I'm like, what? I can just imagine people's depends are full. You know what I'm saying? Whoops. Oh my God, my depends is full. I'm sorry. Scare the crap out of them is basically what I was going with this. But to the point, it's like, yeah, there's going to be some things, and I have discussed them, and we'll continue. I'm going to continue to have these discussions. We need to think there is no box to think out of. I know I keep bringing it up, but these folks with the flat earth have created a box for the flat earth and for everything. And they cannot think out of that box that anything else is possible. So they have created a situation where the situation itself has created a paradigm because they refuse to allow any other thought to come in that would screw with their box of paradigm, their reality. And I think that's a shame because even as a round earther, I will still listen to them up to a point and say, well, that's interesting. Well, that's true. I've noticed that. Well, yeah, okay. But you're trying to tell me we live in a snow globe? Sorry, out of here, But to the point, they can't listen to us at all. They have closed us off. They have boxed themselves into this paradigm and cannot get out, will not get out, and refuse to allow any other information into the box that they created. And I keep saying, anybody who's thinking out of the box, number one, created a box in which to think out of. There is no box. The awareness is exponentially huge. And that what we need to do is, if you even, and I've said this, I'm repeating myself, I know, but if you think there is a box to think out of, then you're not on the same awareness because there is no box to think out of. All things could be possible. And okay, I would agree that maybe in another dimension or timeline, there is a flat earth. I'm willing to admit that. But are the flat earthers willing to say that maybe on another timeline, there is a round earth? No. Sorry, you're an idiot. You're round. You don't agree. You're, okay. That's what's wrong. Sure, go ahead and believe it. But you don't have the same respect that we do for you. That's the point. They've become very disrespectful, dishonorable, and just downright freaking rude. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Time for butt cramps. Okay. Is it strange how California has been burning again? They can't seem to get any rest. Yes, Nunya, it should go both ways. The respect is supposed to be reciprocal. That's what we've lost in society. My opinion or none. And that's no. Keep an open mind. You don't have to, just keep an open mind. Good to catch you live. Thanks for sharing your expertise today. Always appreciated. Thank you. See you again soon. Nice chatting always. Awesome day is today. Thank you, Nunya, Quartz, Melanie, everybody that's come on here. Blessings, 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 blessings. And, it's okay to disagree, but it's not okay to hate each other over this. It's really not. And if you don't agree with somebody and it looks like it's going to go into a fight, just say, let's stop here. Let's remain friends and let's disagree to disagree. Let's leave it there. Shake hands. Okay, separate corners, because it's really not worth fighting over. We're supposed to be grown-ups in this. We're supposed to be achieving a higher level of reality and awareness. And how can we move up on this ladder if we're going to fight with each other at the bottom rung? It makes no sense to me, and it was pissing me off, quite frankly. But now it's like, instead of pissing me off, it's making me giggle and laugh so much. It's like, and I've said this about 6 months ago. I said, there's going to be a point where the things they're going to be trying to tell us and convince us of is going to be so ridiculous. And the awareness is going to happen to where instead of it pissing us off, we're all going to pee ourselves from laughing so hard. And that's where I find myself now. It's like, what? You're going to show, here we go again. Snow globe, this, that, ice and dust in the atmosphere and somewhere in the Kuiper Belt, hidden hands throwing comets at us. Okay, guys, I got you. NASA, you might as well be promoting flat Earth for all this other nonsense. But anyway, so I love you all. I do. Thank you for hanging out with me. I've got some other more serious things to discuss. This is kind of serious in a way, but anyway. Keep the humor up, keep the laughter going. Don't laugh at somebody, but you can laugh at the science. You can laugh at what they're trying to explain, but don't laugh at the person. Laugh at the situation, please. Send out the love. We've got to keep honor. we've lost honor in in this world. We don't honor one another. We don't respect one another. I mean, you and I may do, but the society, we've got to get this respect back just on an individual level, and then it will expound itself. So love you too. And David, thank you, Quartz. So my ending prayer is sort of always is, may all of you, my friends and neighbors and cohorts on this planet, changed it up a little bit. My friends and neighbors here, I I I pray that all of you will accept and receive the wonderful healings from Source, from Creator, and from the universe. I pray that every single one of you and your family members, your friends, and your relatives, and all of your relations will pick up on this wonderful healing that's coming through right now, and that you will also extend your compassion and your respect to other beings who don't quite understand what we do. So I love you all. Spread the love. Keep the faith. And the spiritualism is only going to increase. And for those of us who are already in a love kind of thing, it's just going to get better. And already I'm so elated on so many levels with the love and the compassion and so forth, that we in these chat rooms and different things are expressing to one another, and that we are spreading into the cosmos. I'm filled with this wonderful giddiness, if you will. Let's keep it up, guys, gals, friends, neighbors. Let's keep it up. So spread the love. Thank you all. I'll be back, and so will you. Blessings, everybody. Be safe. Have a great Sunday wherever you may be. And we'll talk at you soon. Okay.